Hello people, welcome to another video. Today, we're going to talk about perspective, we're going to talk about wealth building, we're going to talk about mindset, and we're just going to give gratitude, because I feel like we're living in a space where people are talking about how hard things are, and I don't think that's necessary, and I'm going to tell you why, all right? I remember when I came back from deployment in 2022 in September, and it was hard because when I was transitioning, I didn't have a plan. I didn't know where it was that I was looking to go, and I didn't have any money because I came back without a plan. Because of that, I bought a cash car, I ran out of money, and this is September of 2022, and I had to learn new skills. I had to redefine myself, and I had to determine the type of person that I was looking to become. And so what that led to me doing was firstly reading the Bible deeper than just Proverbs, because I was reading Proverbs and I was like, oh, I'm learning so much wisdom. But then you realize that there's more to the Bible than just Proverbs. So then after reading Proverbs and learning more about myself, I was like, what is it that I want to do? And for me, I chose real estate because I had got licensed when I was 19 years old. And I thought about what skills do I have that I can actually use to make money within the economy that I was in at the time. And I feel like if we just focus more on what it is that we can control and the skills that we do have, we can ultimately create the life that we want. Not only am I a living testament of that, but I've seen many people within my life focus on the things that they could control. And because of that, they built the life that they wanted. They built a life worth living. They built a life that they were proud of. And it didn't happen by accident. There may have been accidents along the way. There may have been mishaps, obstacles, yet it doesn't mean that you allow those obstacles to define you. And so if you tell yourself that I want to make more money within this economy, that's a start. We also need to assess what skills do you have that can allow you to make more money. And you have to be honest with yourself. So if you know that whatever skill it is that you chose, and you might be at a little bit of like a level 4, you're looking at a level 8, level 9 opportunity, but your skill is not there yet. And in some cases, you can make it happen, and that's awesome, and all glory be to God. And in some cases, you're just not ready yet. The reason why I say I'm a living testament of this is because 2022 to 2023 was by far one of the hardest years I've ever lived in my life. And it wasn't because there were not opportunities available. It was because of the decisions that I was making, and it was because of the skills that I chose to focus on. So if you know that you are, like I see it all the time with like teachers, like they're so skilled. They're so skilled. They're so brilliant. Any teacher that I've ever spoke to, intelligent, smart, straight to the point. Yet, when we think about money or we think about investing, they're saying they either are looking for opportunities, or they don't like their job, or they don't have enough money. Now, is that because, yes, of course, the economy plays a factor, yet that isn't the reason why at times we're not where it is that we want to be. We need to be very mindful of the decisions that we're making within this economy. If you really want to change your finances, if you really want to improve your lifestyle, if you really want to say that, I'm not happy with where I'm at, then you need to put a plan in place. And my plan was, I needed to start reading the Bible consistently. I needed to focus on activities that would actually move the needle forward, not saying I'm gonna spend an hour here, I'm gonna spend an hour here, I'm gonna spend an hour here, and think my life is just gonna magically change as I'm looking to do 3 different things at the same time. It doesn't work that way. Some things will have to give. For example, I used to train maybe an hour and a half in the gym. Now, and if I get 40 minutes in for the day, it's a solid day. Because I understand that I had to improve, I had to change, I had to grow, and some things require more time than others, right? That's just one example. For some, it might be that I'm going out once a week with friends. You might have to tell your friends, look, I cannot go out this week because I'm working on changing my life. For some people, it is that you need to pick up a book. You need to read. You need to learn something. And I'm not saying that reading is the path to making more money. Yet what I will say is that when we have these little, not idioms or just analogies, we have these things in life where we talk about leaders are readers, right? You need to learn before you earn. You think that the wealthy people are saying this because it's by accident? Haven't you noticed that systematically people who are either have more education tend to make more money? It's not by accident. So you're either gonna build a business where you're failing a lot and you're failing often, so you're learning from your experience to develop and build a better life, or you go to school and you earn a degree to improve your financial situation. And even with that, you need to be very mindful of the profession that you're choosing. Like sometimes people are choosing or doing things that do not make them the amount of money they thought it was going to make. Now, is that the profession's fault or is that your fault? And it's okay. Like, it's okay to be honest with yourself. It's okay to say that I know that the skill that I chose is not the skill for me. For example, as I said, 2023 to 2024 was one of the hardest years that I've ever had in my life, and 2022 to 2023. But the reason it was so hard is because I had my real estate license, and instead of using it, I decided to go get my insurance license to sell life insurance. And it's not that you can't make money with life insurance, it's just not for me. It wasn't for me, and that's okay. So if you're saying that you want to make more money in this economy, you want to build wealth, you need to decide what it is that you are good at. You need to take action. You need to be willing to fail forward, fail fast, and fail often, and understand that if you do not take action, I promise you, your circumstances will not change. And at some point, we have to realize that is it the economy's fault, or is it because me as an individual, I am not doing the things that I need to do yet, right? I have conversations with people all the time that say that they're interested in buying real estate, building wealth, and then I look at their decisions and I say, please, you need to take action. This is not the market to be slow in. It's not the market to be slow in, because what happens is we then get mad at the ultra rich or the wealthy, and it's like they're just making better decisions than we are. That's it. That's all. And of course, proximity, of course, lineage, of course, like information plays a factor, but it's like, we're making it seem like if you were making 3 or 4K passively every single month, would you be mad? Would you be upset? I don't think so. Even $500, right? $200, right? But a lot of that comes from information. A lot of that comes from information. So I challenge you to really think about your life, like with pen and paper. Take notes and say, like, this is what I currently do for work. I'm not happy with it, and that's okay. Where is it that I want to go? And what plan do I have in place? What mentors have I chosen or paid for to learn new things? For example, the only reason I brought up reading is because in 2023 to 2024, going into 2025 even, I was reading bigger and better books. I was reading Principles by Ray Dalio. I was reading The Warren Buffett Way by someone else who wrote the book. It wasn't Warren Buffett who wrote the book. Yet understand that I may not get a one-on-one with Ray Dalio. I might not get a one-on-one with Warren Buffett. Yet there are books that have been written on their philosophies. Read them. It's not that money is hard to understand. It is that we have not taken enough time to study it. And you really have to be honest with yourself, because some of these books cost less than $30. That's a full tank of gas. Might not be a full tank of gas right now, but that is less than we'd spend on groceries. That is less than we'd spend eating out. Like, we have to be honest with ourselves and say, hey, can I find $100 to just go buy a couple books and read them? I think sometimes People desire living a life that we just haven't earned yet. Like, it's not that they didn't pick me for the opportunity. It's that, was I prepared enough? Did I prepare enough? Did I study enough? Have I put in enough work to earn said opportunity? And if I haven't, it's okay. It's fine. What's not fine is complaining about the fact that I don't have the opportunity. What's not fine is contemplating on an idea, never taking action, and being like, dang, it's just the economy. It's just the market. And that is true. Yet I'm doing real estate and I see agents making money. You know, I see new suits, I see new watches, I see new weave, I see new nails, and I say, look at you, right? People are making money in this economy. Change your proximity. And you might look around and say, wow, they're really doing major things. And don't think it's by accident. There are sacrifices to be made. For example, if you say that you want to pay off debt, if you say that you want to make more money, right? Yet you're not looking at your finances weekly or even monthly. You're not budgeting. You're not on the same page with your partner. And then you're saying, why am I not able to pay off debt? Why am I not able to save? Why am I not able to invest? It's because you're all over the place. And I'm saying all this as someone who was all over the place. I'm saying this as someone who was struggling to buy groceries. I'm saying this as someone who was living by himself and splitting rent and still was financing my life with credit cards. I am telling you, you can change your life. You can build the life that you desire. You have to be willing to find people that are doing better than you. And sometimes you may not be the best person in the room. From 2024 all the way up to today, I've been in rooms with millionaires and billionaires, and I'm looking at them and the way that they act and at the way that they talk, at the way that they look at you and they remember certain things that you do or don't do. And I didn't have money. I had no money. I had no money to get into the room. Yet, building meaningful relationships is how you get into the room. It's not always about money. It's about how you show up. It's about your name. It's about your reputation. It's about the things that you may be able to offer someone that they're not able to have at this moment because of things that they're doing or not doing. I promise you, you can change your life. You can build wealth. You just need to make better decisions. And as you make better decisions, I promise you your life will change. And some of that has to do with the decisions, of course, that you're making, the people that you surround yourself with, the books that you're reading or not reading, the information that you're consuming. Social media is a very big one because we fix our algorithm to be things that we deem are important, whether we realize it or not, right? And you need to really audit what you do on a daily basis. Like, some people look at me and they'll be like, man, you're so consistent. Man, you're so consistent. And I'm just at a point where it's like, and I don't like, or not and, that's not right. But I'm at a point where I look at my life and I say, is it that I'm actually consistent, or is it that I'm very intentional with the things that I know I need to get done? And it's systematic, right? There's things that I put in place so that I can live a better life. There's things that I put in place so that I can create a life worth living. It's not by happenstance is what we call it. It's intentional. It's with purpose. And I make sure that me and my partner are on the same page. But if you're single, I was deep in, I had to open up the Bible. I'm talking about God sat me down. I'm talking about I had no money. I had just gotten robbed and my car stopped working all in 24 hours. I'm telling you that this is my testimony, that I had to sit there and I had to take that Lyft, that Uber back home. And I was like, you know what? I still have to make content today. So I go on live. I go on IG Live, and one of my bros, he's listening to my story, and he just drops a Bible verse, and I'm like, that is the last thing that I want to hear right now. But he said, consider it great joy, my brothers and sisters, when you go through trials and tribulations, so that it's the testing and the perseverance of your faith is good. Like, you're being pruned, you're being developed. And I really didn't understand that in that moment. Yet I was forced to sit down and really look at my actions, really look at the things I was prioritizing or talking about. And I was like, look at my life, look at the things that I'm doing. It's no wonder I'm struggling. And at some point, you realize, is it really the economy's fault, or is it my fault for not being better with my time, my energy, my focus, my resources? I didn't do what was necessary. I didn't do the hard work. I didn't make certain sacrifices. It's a no-brainer as to why my life looked the way it did. All I'm looking to do is challenge you to assess the life that you're currently living and be honest with yourself. Because I could sit here and say all these things, and you still would have to look in the mirror and say, I need to stop doing this. I need to stop. And I personally do tend to be very aggressive with myself of like, bro, you said you want this. You said that this is important to you. If you're not putting in the work, there's no one else to blame. If you're not studying, if you're not learning, don't be mad that someone else is living a better life than you. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Yet, if you want to change your life, you need to have an honest conversation with yourself. Have no distractions. Maybe just pen and paper and say, look God or look self. Write your name at the top. Put like a little dash and say things I need to improve upon and take action. Whether it's exercise, whether it's going to therapy, whether it's budgeting, whether it's making certain decisions, certain sacrifices. Really, they're not even sacrifices. They're just choices. We'll get into that later. Yet, you need to be honest with yourself, and it's going to be hard. It's going to feel like you're purging yourself, because you are. And that's scary. That's scary to say that I have to purge myself of the things that make my flesh happy. And it's scary too, because you're changing, you're evolving. But that's the beautiful thing about being a human, that you even have that choice to improve. You have that choice to get better. You have that choice to make more money. You have that choice to build new skills. The conversations I have today, I prayed for 2 years ago. But understand that I drove 3.5 hours, drove 3 hours to go sit in a room with a billionaire and say, man, teach me something. I need to learn. I'm not where I want to be, man. I'm not. I feel like I've lost everything twice now. I'm not please, I need help, right? But when you do that, and you're not the richest, you're not the smartest, you know what I'm saying? You're not the best in the room. You're not the brightest in the room. Someone will reach out. Someone will help you. But if you do not ask for help, if you're not willing to seem like you are the student and you actually need the resources, you're not going to get them. And I can promise you this, that the older that you get, it gets harder. I don't know what this is about, but it does get older, whether that's energy, whether that's people, whether that's support, resources, it just gets harder. You either have more responsibilities, you have things that may take more precedence of the things that you want to do at the time. So you still have to get your needs done to build the life that you want. And it's not going to happen by accident unless you engineer your ecosystem and your world, your environment, to shape the life that you want. And you have to be honest with yourself. Because if you're not honest with yourself, let me tell you what's going to happen. Let me tell you what's going to happen. My partner sat me down and she said, look, you living on credit, bro. You living on credit right now. You are not able to live the life you live in. But what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm good. I'm making enough money. No, don't lie to yourself. Surround yourself with people that inspire you. Surround yourself with people that motivate you to be and do better. Surround yourself with people that are going to tell you the truth. If you are slipping and you don't have anyone around you that's willing to say, you need to stop this behavior. This is unacceptable. You're being irresponsible. You need to stop. If you do not have people around you that are willing to tell you the truth, once again, you need to look in the mirror and say, this life that I'm currently living is unacceptable because of the goals that you have, because of the money that you're striving to make. You need to be honest with yourself. It's not the economy, bro. It's the decisions that you're making. And the reason why I sound like this and I'm so passionate about talking about wealth creation is because I know what it feels like to have nothing. I know what it feels like to not know where your next check is coming from. I know what it feels like to have to sell stock to be able to pay off a bill, and it's going to take 2 to 3 business days for that money to deposit. I know what that feels like. I've lived that life. I just don't want that for you. So all I'm saying is that you owe it to yourself to make better decisions. And if you do not start today, do not be mad that a year from now, someone else is living a life you prayed for, but you didn't put in the work for. That's all. That's all. And I want you to also understand something. There are opportunities within this market that we're currently in. Yet if you're not taking advantage of them, please do not look to blame the economy. If you didn't take the time to look at your finances and say, this is what I can or cannot do. So thank you so much for your time and attention. This is only the beginning. I promise you there's more to come. Until next time.